got it. No.
Well, let's just start going down some of these are some more modern guys. Let's start with Pavel Demitra. Thoughts about him and the teammate and him going in posthumously and his family being able to see.
Yeah, it's much deserved. He was obviously a great player here in St. Louis, and obviously tragic accident. We all had a number of friends pass away in that crash, but he was a great player. Love the game. Great guy to practice against. You knew you were going to get better, and you look at his stats. There's probably an 8 to 10 year window where you'd put his stats up against anybody.
Did Big Walt camp out in front of the net because he couldn't move? Or tell us a little bit about in all seriousness, tell us about his game.
I think obviously power forward, but I think a little bit more on gruff around the edges, maybe within the game, but he had really good hands. Actually liked to carry the puck in more than he would chip and chase and play the power forward grinder game. He more wanted it on a stick or Pavel's stick or somebody's, he wanted to make plays and, try to score goals.
When you watch, oh, sorry.
No, it's okay. You're done. I'm done? No, I'm just kidding.
When you watch the NHL today, are there still guys like Keith Tkachuk who have that skill and can get in those dirty areas?
Yeah, there's a few. I don't think they necessarily play to that regard. I mean, his son would be one of them. Well, actually, probably both sons, I guess, when you look at it in that sense. Brady probably more so than Matthew, but they both play that greasy, in-your-face style and, go to the front of the net, go to the tough areas. Tom Wilson would be another guy that played that way. But I would say they're few and far between nowadays. I would say maybe the closest one here would be Braden Shen, just plays with a physical edge and, willing to do whatever it takes.
What about the level of this Hall of Fame? Gary Younger was saying if you put all the guys who are in this Hall of Fame against all the other Hall of Fames around the NHL, you'd have a pretty good shot.
No, absolutely. I think you look at these three going in tonight. Mike Liut, great goaltender. Again, you go back and you look at each one of these guys' stats, and you'd be hard pressed to find other guys outside of the top tier, top 20 guys ever in the league. You put their stats up against them, it'd be pretty hard to rectify that somewhere else. So it's a great class, and happy to have them join us.
Does the blazer feel surreal at all to wear it still?
Not tight, so that helps.
Is that a shot at Walt?
No, well, take it how you will, Martin. Take it how you will. Yeah, it's it's always special to come back to these types of events and be a part of an exclusive group like this, and see former teammates now being inducted. It's a tremendous honor and always humbling.
It's interesting because Paul, McInnes, all you guys are traded here, and I know your path was turbulent here, but when you were first traded to St. Louis, what was your initial reaction?
I was excited. You gotta remember, I was leaving Hartford. So I was pretty excited. Shanny not so much, but I was excited, obviously knowing the players that were here, and then the subsequent moves that Mike made, bringing in some of the other veterans and Furzy and some of those guys. So I was excited to come, and then the onslaught began. But
you won the war.
Yeah. Listen, the little battles, you got to win the war. So it takes time. You got to adjust. You got to figure out who you are and what you want to be, and then how you're going to get there.
Would you have thought all these years later you'd still be here? From those early days, you probably thought, how soon can I get out of here?
Where can I move to?
Yeah.
You never know. I don't think, obviously, that first year, you're probably thinking, where's Mike going to trade me after all the times that he told me he was moving me somewhere. But, I think, like anything else, the harder it is, the more adversity you fight through, the more special it becomes, and the more you become acclimated with the city and the fans and the organization, and that hate turns to love, and you become a part of the community.